When the secret was revealed to me, I exploded rich. Last month, I made $100,000. Month before that, I also made $100,000 from multiple sources of income. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is DeAndre Saxon, aka Mr. Law of Attraction. I studied with the famous Bob Proctor for 2.5 years before he passed away. I was in his inner circle. Back in 2020 through 2021, I went 0 to 100,000 a month in less than 45 days when I studied with him and learned how to use the law of attraction to bend my consciousness to the reality of being a millionaire and built my first 7-figure business. So welcome to this series. This is actually video 3 in a series of where I'm taking people through the science of getting rich. So this is actually a program that I studied with, this little dirty there, that I studied with famous Bob Proctor. And so this is a program you can find this actual workbook, the audios, everything that you need to follow along with me inside the description below, inside the school community. But other than that, why are you watching this video? And I know this is a long video. You're like, why don't get straight into it? Guys, this is probably going to be a 30-minute plus video. So I need you to just take this 1 minute to decide if this is the right fit for you. So why would you want to watch this? I'm teaching you how to hit your first $100,000 a month. I don't care what business you're in. You can be in coaching, consulting, crypto, construction, beauty. I don't really care. All my clients do different things. The only thing that I'm going to teach is how to use your mind, how to use the law of attraction to take your life to the next level. By real life examples, I'm literally a person who's earned multiple 7 figures, that earns 6 figures per month consistently. And this is basically my study session. So how do I run this call? This is literally a study session, super relaxed, super calm. I'm acting as if you're sitting with me right now across the table and we're studying this program together. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this is actually video 3 in the series. The first one, we talked about the basics, which is the conscious mind, subconscious mind, body. By the way, if you want to get caught up on the series, what you'll do is in the link in the description, there's a playlist, free playlist here on YouTube. Just watch the master classes and you'll get caught up. So anyways, video 2 was yesterday where we talked about chapter 1, which is the right to be rich. And in this one, chapter 3, which is the science of getting rich. So what I'm going to be doing here, get out a piece of paper, get out a notebook. Let's get started. I have some highlights here. We're going to be covering it here. We'll actually be reading it, but I have some highlighted sections because obviously there's some parts that I want to go ahead and point to you. So without further ado, let's get into it. So there's a science of getting rich. So there's a science of getting rich. It is an exact science like algebra or arithmetic. There are certain laws which govern the processes of acquiring riches. Once you learn and obey these laws, you will get rich with mathematical certainty. So what I like is here, there's a certain laws which govern the process of acquiring riches. That means that you can get rich by understanding these certain laws, like the law of gravity. Like if I grab this, I got my gold card right here, right? Everybody should have their goal card at this period. You write your goal on a piece of paper and it will manifest. So there's a law of gravity that states that if I drop this, gravity will bring it down. That's a law. And no matter what I grab, right? I'm not going to drop this on my laptop, but whatever you drop, it's going to drop because of gravity. Well, there's laws such as getting rich that if you work it, you're going to get rich with mathematical certainty, whether you're fat, you're poor, you're rich. And once you learn and obey these laws, you will get rich with mathematical certainty. So there is one great law, which namely is energy is, right? What is God? God just is. He's not good. He's not bad. He just is. He's just omnipotent, all powerful, all love, all knowing, right? Just is. All physical and mental science is based on one great law and its 7 subsidiary laws, which operate in coordinates with each other. The law of vibration is the law that serves as the foundation of the law of attraction. By the way, in tomorrow's video, in the next video, we're going to be covering all of these 7 laws in depth. So make sure you subscribe below so you don't miss that. And I'm doing this all completely for free, guys. As you guys know, I have a coaching business that I teach people how to go from 6 figures to 7 figures, literally by using these laws in their business. And I'm just doing this here for free for you guys on YouTube. But obviously, a portion of you want to work with me closely so to apply it, to go to the next level. And people hire me for that. But other than that, I do this completely for free for you guys, right? So get out a piece of paper. Let's rock and roll. Subscribe so you guys don't miss on anything. So the law of perpetual transmutation, number 1. Number 2, the law of relativity. Number 3, the law of vibration. Number 4, the law of polarity. Number 5, the law of rhythm. Number 6, the law of cause and effect. And number 7, the law of gender. Like I said, we'll go into more depth on these on the next video. I already have it planned for you guys. So the best definition of natural law seems to be that it is the uniform and orderly method of the omnipotent God, meaning that God is all places, in all frequencies, in all living things, here, there, and all time. And unlike all any other forms of animal life that has been created, we were given the power of choice or free will, right? A bird can only be a bird, a dog can only be a dog, but you can be whatever you want. You can be a firefighter, you can be a seven-figure earner, you can be a beauty pageantist, right? You can be an athlete, you can build whatever reality that you want, but you need to take control of your consciousness and take control of your attention. And along with that power came certain responsibilities, right? So just because you have the ability to make free choices doesn't mean that you're afraid away from reaping the consequences and responsibilities that are taken with that. And that, with that being said, the capacity to choose does not involve the freedom from the consequences of your choices. So if you're broke right now, as much as you believe it, you have chosen to be broke. And you may not like that. You're like, oh, DeAndre, I've been watching all these videos. I've been working so hard to try to get wealthy. You are broke because you've decided to be broke. And the moment you decide to get rich, everything will change for you. So you have to take a conscious choice. I remember when I was about to start working with Bob Proctor, I remember this was October 2019, and I was driving for Uber, sleeping on my grandparents' couch, and all my businesses had failed. And I remember thinking to myself, I am broke. And I just finally admitted that I was completely broke. And it was at that point that Bob Proctor showed up and changed my life. And within a couple months, I was making 100 grand per month. I never had more than $2,000 in my bank account up until the point I was 24. And everything changed because I admitted that I was broke. And I went and fixed it. Let's go. And so we continue here. So yeah, these laws are made for the material universe. You can act in accordance with these laws, or you can disown them, but you cannot in any way alter them. The laws forever operate and hold you strictly accountable, and there's not the slightest allowance made for ignorance. So what this means is, just because you don't know about the law of attraction, law of vibration, people are like, oh, I don't know if the law of attraction works or this. Guess what? It's working. I get this question often, DeAndre, how do I know if I'm manifesting? If you're a human being who has conscious mind and has a heart, you are manifesting. We are literally a vessel for manifestation because the body is an electromagnetic switching station, meaning you electrically send out the signal, what is it that you want, and you magnetize it back to you with your heart and your feeling states, right? So electromagnetic, it's this revolving door. So if you're alive and you're watching this video, you are manifesting whether you know how to do it or not. All I'm trying to do is raise your consciousness awareness so that you can actually control what comes in and out of your life by altering your electromagnetic switching station. Does that make sense? So the law of attraction will deliver to you what you do not want as quickly and as certainly as it will deliver what you do want. Okay? Let's continue here. I'm going to slide pages over my notes so I make sure. Yeah, like you can already see this page. Like I went heavy on this one. So to make sure I cover these extra notes. And so the ownership of money and property comes as a result of doing things in a certain way by law. We'll be covering what this means here in a second. Those who do things in a certain way, whether on purpose or accidentally, get rich. Listen to that. When you do this, whether purposely, which is like you're studying it now, or accidentally, like the rich who keep getting richer, you will get rich, even if you don't know what you're doing. That's what's called an unconscious competent. An unconscious competent, even then, I would say when I first hit my first $100,000 month when I was 24 years old, I was still an unconscious competent. I was only in lesson 4 of the Bob Proctor program, which, by the way, you can find that program inside my school group. It's a link in the description. That program that took me to 100,000 a month, I was only in lesson 4 by lesson 4 out of 12. So there's 12 lessons. By lesson 4, I was already earning 6 figures a month. So what did that tell me? Like there were certain lessons that I had stumbled across unconsciously that allowed me to hit those levels. And so I still, to this day, say I was an unconscious competent, even though I was studying this material to a degree, right? And those who do not do things in a certain those who do not do things in a certain way, no matter how hard they work, will not get rich. This is so important. Even if you work hard, gather information, buy a bunch of courses, buy a bunch of information, like work 12-hour days and do all this stuff, post a bunch of content on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok. If you do not do things in a certain way, which we will be covering in the series, you will not get rich. And if you're struggling right now at the 6-figure level, you're bouncing between $8,000 to $20,000 a month. This is what's going on. You have gotten yourself up to a degree, but you haven't surpassed the next level that takes you to the certain way. You know, it's a funny fact. Any business I started, I went instantly to 100,000 a month. Like this is, I've done it multiple times. I've just been able to reprogram my mind to do this in certain ways, and I've been able to do it for other clients because I do these things in a certain way. So that's what I'm trying to communicate to you for free here on YouTube, and then in my coaching program, I teach you how to do it like tailored to your life and in your business. I get to know you, obviously, where you're from, what you do, what your struggles are. But regardless, you can do this all by yourself. It just takes more time, right? But the point of it is, if you're not doing these certain things, which we'll be covering in this series, you will not get rich. It is a natural law, just like cause and effect. Sorry, it is a natural law that like causes always produce like effects. Therefore, any man or woman who learns to do things in a certain way will infallibly be rich. So whether you're man or woman, if you learn to do these certain things that we'll be covering over the next coming weeks here completely for free on YouTube, you will get rich. And this is honestly my selfish intention. If you want to know why, if I give you value for free all here on YouTube, you guys will go and get results. I will be blessed in retrospect because of laws of cause and effect by some source, whether it's through clients, through something, because I'm giving away free value, my time, my knowledge, all for free here on YouTube, just for people that are subscribed to my channel, right? So that's my goal here. So if I put out great quality content that serves you at a higher level, then the effect is I will get blessed in some way by you, by clients, or by the universe in some way. I'm just adding to the matrix, right? And that above statement is true. Is true. Is true, shown by the following facts. Getting rich is not a matter of environment. If it were, all the people in certain areas would be wealthy, and that's not true. The people of one city would be rich while those of other towns would be poor. The inhabitants of one state would roll in wealth while the other adjoining states would be in poverty, which we know these are not true. We frequently see rich and poor living in the same environment, often engaged in the same vocations. When two people are in the same locality and in one locality and in the same business, and one gets rich while the other remains poor, it shows that getting rich is not a primarily matter of environment, right? There's people right now that are in your same exact industry. There's people way better and way richer than you in your same industry, and there's people that are poorer than you. There's people that started first before you, surpassed you. And there's people that started after you and surpassed you, right? It's just there's different levels. People can be in the same business. How many coaches do you know? How many law of attraction coaches do you know? How many like just coaches in general, fitness, online fitness, mindset coaches who coach coaches, right? And like how many of these people that you know, and not everybody is winning because they're not doing things in a certain way. As long as you have Instagram, social media, Wi-Fi, a laptop device, or a phone, you can get rich if you do things in a certain way. And that's something I always like to say. Is like you give me DeAndre, you give me YouTube, you give me internet, you give me a laptop, you give me phone and Wi-Fi, which I think I said already. I will get rich because I just do things in a certain way, and it all comes down to this conscious mind here and some of the practices you're going to learn strategically here in this series here on YouTube. And so some environments may be more favorable than others, but when two people in the same business are in the same neighborhood and one get rich while the other fails, it indicates that getting rich is not a result of doing things. That getting rich is a result of doing things in a certain way. And we have a dedicated chapter just on understanding what that certain way is. So what's the argument that Wallace D. Wattles is making right here in the Science of Getting Rich book is that no matter what, until you understand that how to do things in a certain way, which I'll give you some examples of how to do that, this is the only thing that's stopping you from your first $100,000 month, brother and sister. Like all we're doing is having a study session. It's 10:30 at night here in Dubai, but I wanted to get up here, study with you guys, get this video out, add value to you. I didn't have to do this. I don't have to do any of this. I enjoy it. Like I get to sit here with you guys on a Friday night, and instead of being out partying in Dubai, I'm just here enjoying myself, studying with you, giving value, and acting as if like you're sitting across the table with me and we're having a good conversation about leveling up and getting rich and becoming the best versions of ourselves with the law of attraction, right? And so, furthermore, the ability to do things in this certain way is not due solely to the possession of talent, because many people who have great talent remain poor, while others have very little talent still get rich. Let me get some water here. By the way, what's in your notes right now? This is a good opportunity to drop a piece of what you've written on your notes in the comments while I get some water here. Delicious water. So just because you're talented does not mean you're going to get rich. Like how many people are so talented in sports, but they do not work hard? Like Kobe Bryant, for example, he was talented, but he also worked hard. And there's a saying back in the sport. I played sports back in high school. It's like hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, right? I think that's what it was. Little tongue twister. And it's very true. It's like you can be talented, you can be good at sales and good at marketing, good at content, really beautiful. But if you don't do things in a certain way, you will still not get rich. If we study people who have gotten rich, we find that they're an average lot in all respects. It is evident that they do not get rich because they possess unique talents and abilities. They get rich because they happen to do things in a certain way. Are you noticing this pattern? Right? Almost like in Think and Grow Rich. Like you start to notice this pattern when Napoleon Hill is talking about thinking, thinking, thinking. Thinking is the way that gets rich. If you're noticing the theme in this book, it's doing things in a certain way, which we need to break down. Getting rich is not a result of saving or thrift. Many penurious people are poor, while free spenders often get rich. Let's break that down. I used to I think we talked about it on yesterday's video, where my grandma would tell me things like, "You have to save in order to get rich. You have to go to college in order to get paid. Go to college to go to the next level." Right? Like, it was all about doing things that literally none of these people were rich. Like, the type of rich I'm trying to be is like Richard Milley, McLaren, having 11 supercars, mansions, wife that doesn't work, and like 10 kids type shit, right? These people didn't, like, most of them did not do college work, and if they did, like, they don't use that college work anymore. So it's not about just saving money and being thrifty. So a lot of the things that were told to me, that's not really true. Nor is getting rich due to doing things while which others. Let me repeat this one more time. It's a little late out here. Nor is getting rich. Here, let me highlight it for you. Nor is getting rich due to doing things which others fail to do. Two people in the same business often do the same, almost exactly the same thing, and one gets rich while the other remains poor or becomes bankrupt. What are you in harmonious vibration with? Huh? Think about that. Two people can do the same exact thing. Two people can make the same YouTube video, but one will get views and one will not. Because it's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I've been telling you guys this for a long, long time. These are the things that it's an energy that you emit. What are you vibrating at? How do you raise your vibration? When are you going to wake up and realize that it's not about information? It's not about just ripping off a course and ripping off a bunch of YouTube videos. Like, when are you going to wake the F up and start to actually do what's required of you? It's not about information. It's about implementation. When are you going to wake up, brother and sister? Let's go. For all these things, we must come to the conclusion that getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way. If getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way, then any man or woman who can do things in the way that, if getting rich is the result of doing things in a certain way, then any man or woman can do things in that way, can become rich. And if like causes always produce like effects, the whole matter can be brought on with the domain of the exact science. Meaning, if you learn how to do things in this certain way, just hold on there. You're like, what is this certain way? Guys, trust me, we're going to get that. That's why you subscribe below. We have many more videos to break this down, and I give you examples of what this will look like. Then we'll be able to go to the next level. So keep patient. We're almost here. The question arises whether this certain way may not be so difficult that only a few may follow it. As we have seen, this cannot be true so far as natural ability is concerned. Talented people get rich, blockheads get rich, right? Meaning people that are smart will get rich, also stupid people get rich, right? Intellectually brilliant people get rich, and very stupid people get rich. Physically strong people get rich, and weak and sickly people get rich. Some degree of ability to think and understand is, of course, essential. Because let's talk about it. If you are able to even watch this video right now and have any lick of consciousness and attention, then you have the ability to get rich. And at this point, you watching this right now, but but insofar as natural ability is concerned, any man or woman who has sense enough to read and understand these words and understand this video right now can certainly get rich. Although we have seen that it's not a matter of environment, although we have seen that it is not a matter of environment, location does count for something. One would not go to the heart of the Sahara Desert and expect to do successful business. Getting rich involves the necessity of dealing with people and being where there are people to deal with. But that is about as far as environment matters. If anybody else in your town can get rich, so can you. If anybody else in your state can get rich, so can you. And again, it's not a matter of choosing some particular business or profession. Let me chime in on this one. Everybody thinks like it's some shiny object syndrome. It's drop shipping, it's Amazon FBA, it's Etsy, it's consulting, it's crypto, it's YouTube automation. You can get rich in any of those things. Let me tell you, this is one thing I learned from Bob Proctor. Once you become a successful person, then you have a successful business. Stop looking to the outside world. Stop looking to the outside business to come and save you. You can become successful in whatever business you're in right now. Acres of diamond literally lie in the current business model that you're in now. This moment you start doing things in a certain way and leveling up to the next level. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? It's time to wake up and stop looking to somewhere else outside of you. The answer is already within you when you start doing things in a certain way. And this certain way is done through a shift in your mental consciousness and attention. So let's read this again. Again, it is not a matter of choosing some particular business or profession. People get rich in every business and in every profession, while the next door neighbors in the same vocation remain in poverty. It is true that you will do best in a business which you like. It's really important. Do what you like. Like, one thing I learned is like, you work for satisfaction. You don't work for money. You work because you enjoy it. You enjoy the journey. You enjoy the work. You enjoy the process, the challenge, the becoming, right? The being. That's what you do it. You don't do it for money. Like if you're doing something for money, then that's not fun. That's not fun. You want to do something because you truly enjoy it and you're growing as a character in this video game, in this matrix, in this simulation. So doing a business which you enjoy to do will make things so much easier, especially when things get difficult. And if you have certain talents which are well developed, you will do best in a business which calls for the exercise of those talents. Like I'm a great communicator. I'm really good at sales. I'm good at really talking. I'm good at networking. So I'm in the perfect industry, which is I run events. I do mindset coaching, I do sales, and I teach people how to scale their businesses to the next level. And we just have so many testimonials coming in, which I'm sure you've seen on my channel already. So this is what I do. These are my talents. So the fact that I do this and I enjoy it, like I know where I'm supposed to be, and I really enjoy my work. As you can see here, I'm just here on almost 11 p.m. on here on a Friday night here in Dubai, just talking to my camera, talking to YouTube, and talking to you guys here, right? Also, you would do best in a business which is suited to your locality. An ice cream parlor would be best in a warm climate than in Greenland. A salmon fishery will succeed better in the Northwest than in Florida where there is no salmon. So, think like for example, if you're doing something on the internet, which I highly recommend for most people, like you can do this from anywhere. The first $100,000 month I had, I was in Medellin, Colombia. I did it again here in Dubai. I've done it in Miami. I've done it in Colombia. I've done it I've done it so many different places. Doesn't matter as long as you have the right places, right? Right mindset. But aside from these general limitations, getting rich is not dependent on your engagement in some particular business, but on your learning to do things in a certain way. If you are now in a business and if you are now in a business and someone else in your locality is getting rich in the same business while you are not getting rich, it's because you are not doing things in the same way that the other person is doing them. Okay. So, for example, if there's other coaches, other consultants, other crypto, other people doing what you're doing and they are succeeding and you are not, it's because you're not doing things the same as them. You might be doing the same ad, you might be doing the same posting, you might even be copying the same content as them, but it's not what you do, it's the energy behind what you're doing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, brothers and sisters. Not what you do, is how you do it. It's the energy in which you emit the action from. So lack and abundance are in the same locality. Lack and abundance are in the same locality, and it's through a shift of consciousness and attention. No one is prevented from getting rich by lack of capital. True, as you get capital, it does increase. It increases. Sorry, it increases because easier. Hold on, what is going on here? True, too many commas. True, as you get capital, its increase becomes easier and more rapid. But no matter how poor you may be, if you begin to do things in a certain way, you will begin to have capital. Capital, there's an abundance of capital. There's millions of dollars literally sitting in a bank account, sitting in a fund, wanting to deploy to be put to work. You can find the money the moment you decide to get the money. It will not show up until you decide. The getting of capital is part of the process of getting rich. It is part of a result of which invariably follows doing things in a certain way. You may be the poorest person in your continent and be deeply in debt. But if you begin to do things in a certain way, you must infallibly begin to get rich. I love that. I don't care where you're at right now. I slept on air mattresses. I slept in my car. There was moments where I didn't have any food. I would eat oatmeal for 3 days straight. There were some days I was forced fasting. Have you ever forced fast where it's like you ain't got no money for food, and so you're like forced to fast for 7 days. Yeah, like I was in that period where I didn't have any money for food. I had enough to just to pay rent, and I was forced to fast, and I would like convince myself that I'm fasting because I gotta fast, but really I was fasting because I had no freaking money, right? I ain't going back to that. I don't care how bad it can be. I've been in those positions, and I've gone to $100,000 months. I've built 7-figure businesses and continue to earn 6 figures a month, and will continue to do this now, going to 7 figures per month. Right? I don't care how down bad you are. I don't care how stuck you've been. I don't care where you're at right now. You could be been stuck at 10,000 a month for the last 6 years. I don't really care. You can literally change it today, and you know this. I'm not saying anything different. Maybe you just need a little bit of help, and it's time for you to put your ego to the side and say you need help. Shit, that was me. After I did that, I got rich. I needed help, and I got the help, right? But because like causes must produce like effects, you will get rich even if you do not have any friends, even if you have no influence, even if you have no other resources. Read that again. I don't care if you have no money, no following, no business, nothing. You can get rich because riches is a part of consciousness. It's a mindset. It's an attention. It's not something outside of you. You can have, even if you don't have the money, even if you don't have the friends, you don't have the influence or the resources, you will manifest it because it will be in harmony with your new vibration the moment you decide to do things in a certain way and get rich. If you have no capital, you can get capital. If you are in the wrong business, you can get in the right business. If you are in the wrong location, you can get in the right location. You can do so by beginning in your present business and in your present location to do things in a certain way which causes success. I don't care what business you're in right now. Start where you are with what you have. There's acres of diamonds literally where you're at right now. You must begin to live in harmony with the laws that are governed in the universe. And clearly remember, these laws are always working. They never rest. Whether you decide to take this on as a study or not, it's still going to work. Whether you decide to go to sleep in the feeling of the wish fulfilled or live in the feeling of the state fulfilled in your day, it's going to work or not. You get to decide. Think it, feel it, do it. Sound familiar? And you will attract it. This is the great secret. We got to run that back. Does that not sound familiar? Think it, feel it, do it, and you will attract it. Right? Thoughts, feelings, actions, all 3 planes of existence: spiritual, intellectual, physical. Right? And you will attract it. All great thinkers, whether it's Wallace D. Wattles, Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie, Plato, Socrates, Jesus, Plato, like everybody all came down to the same conclusion, which is we become what we think about. And this is what we're talking about. The great secret is the feeling. The great secret is thinking it, feeling, acting it, all of that on the same plane. And then we have some questions that you guys can go ahead and answer here. By the way, if you want access to this full workbook right here, you will find it inside my school community. It'll be inside the classroom section. And then on our next call, we're going to be we're going to be talking about the laws of universe. But let's talk about it. If you're a 6-figure earner already, you want me to apply this to your business so we can take you to the 6-figure per month level, then go ahead and book a call with me in the link in the description. Guys, I'm not cheap. All right. So if you're booking a call thinking it's a couple $100, don't even book a call. Just join my school group. But I will get you results. I've been doing this for 5 years, over 400 plus clients, and I know how to do this. But other than that, if you're not ready to book a call, don't worry. Just stay here. As you see, I give you full value just here on YouTube for free. So without further ado, see you in the next video. Take care.